Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk to you today about Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. But first, a little annoyance in relationship to it. So, months ago, in one of my favorite places, barnes&nobel, I go to the sci-fi, science fiction and fantasy section. And of course, it has display tables displaying whatever author, right? So, there in the adult science fiction fantasy section, there's a little table, and it had this book on it, Heavenbreaker, right there where us adults go, not young adults. And Sue picked this up. Love the way it looked. Love the way the cover looks. Love the description. And got to reading it, and like, how shall I say this? Boy, is this YA. And I did not even make it 100 pages into this. A lot of people like this. I did not. This was not for me. Fast forward a bit, time passes. There I am when you walk into Barnes& Noble. It has the new books area with broken out by genre, and I go over to science fiction and fantasy, and there, in the adult science fiction and fantasy section, is this book right here, Little Thieves, Margaret Owen. And well, guess what? This is YA, and I don't understand why you need to mix that in. It's trickery. Now, I'm not naive, and it's not going to go away, but what's the point? This is like if when religious zealots grab their religious books and then go around the store and plant them at places. You don't need Arthur C. Clarke, you need Jesus. I know, why don't you take The Shining, put it in the kids section? Why not? Let's put Westerns in the nonfiction science area. Let's take the magazines, get rid of those little pesky magazines, and spread them randomly throughout the store. So I don't understand why you mix the YA stuff in with the adult stuff. There are plenty of people, grown adults, been alive for decades, who actually enjoy YA stuff. I enjoyed this book. But that doesn't mean I like the trickery, and it does nothing for me, so I'm going to be a little more picky about what I pick up out of the new section. Here. I brought it as an example. Titan Hoppers. This is definitely a YA book. I loved it. It's so far a trilogy. There's going to be 5 or 6 of them. And I'm in all the way. Even this, though, does this YA trope in about the 3rd book of the lethal contest where we use the kids. And it did not fit in there at all. Regardless, along comes Little Thieves. And what we have here, this book goes through a few phases. It starts out as a fairy tale. Full-on fairy tale, literally says, once upon a time. Then turns into, let's call it a spy thriller. I've never heard the term thief thriller, but that's what she is. She's a thief. But she's in a new identity in with the noble people, ripping them off. Then it turns into literally a YA adventure. It's kids doing kids things. Oops, I accidentally rubbed up against you. Now I find you're... It's too teenage kiddie. Then turns into a heist, basically. Everybody's got to play their role, and there's a surprise. I did like the book. It really does work. Here we have it. I like illustrated books. Let's see how close I can get that for you. See this right here? So here's the, she doesn't call them fairy godmothers, just godmothers, but these are supernatural beings. This is death. This is fortune. This is a 13th daughter giving away her 13th daughter. It doesn't expand upon that in this book. There is a sequel book, and maybe there's more about that in there. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. The only issue being later in when it like, for example, just an example. She's in the guise of a princess thanks to these magic pearls, and she's ripping all the nobles off, and she's doing this probably a little bit of a sort of revenge thing, but she's robbing the rich to give to herself because she's trying to escape her godmothers. They gave her a choice: serve one or the other forever. well, she doesn't want that. She wants her freedom, but she needs to gather enough funds so she can just flee her area of the world and get away from them. I assume that would be okay. It seems to imply that every country has its own pantheon of supernatural beings. She's got to flee the country to escape the supernatural godmothers. That is her ordeal. Now, I hesitate to. What was it? It was that she's in the midst of this, playing the role of this princess, and this tyrant who's going to marry her is at some point trying to assassinate her. And I guess you have to realize that even though he's trying to, he doesn't know that she thinks he's trying to kill her, because she keeps going right back into her situation. And a lot of, let's see, do I kill her? Do I not kill her? Is he going to kill me? Do I not? Am I going to get away with this? And it's almost like, just take her out back and throw her in the river. You have to almost buy into a little bit more than just suspension of disbelief as to why she keeps going back into her situation. When she does seem to be very self-reliant that she could get away with less money and set up somewhere else, and just, I guess maybe she doesn't want to go somewhere else and be a thief there too. But if your life's on the line, I mean, and you're trying to escape, it didn't quite, it was a little too convoluted as to the specifics of her situation and why she couldn't just get away. But I enjoyed the book. It reads right along. Her supporting cast is not too in depth. There's cardboard, and then there's a step beyond cardboard. Each of the characters do have good, distinct personalities and their own unique set of talents that lends to, like I said, it's a bit of a heist thing, and she just happens to know the right people that are going to help provide to the situation that's going to be the climax of this. And I enjoyed the setup. I don't normally read a lot of heist stuff, but you get a movie like Inception, which is at heart a heist movie, and everything just falls in line, and then one little thing sets it off, and that's and it all comes together, and that's what happens here. She does have a enemies to lovers thing in here, but this doesn't turn into full romantasy, and so I don't think it gets in the way too much of what's going on, but it is sprinkled in there. She, of course, the princess who has been replaced, turns up and is not happy with her situation. They were good friends, and I'll not ruin what happens between them there. There is a whole other supernatural being that casts a curse upon Tanya, Banja, and she is doomed in a couple of weeks to turn into essentially a living statue of rubies if she doesn't, as it says, give back what she's taken. Rather vague, but she has to go along and try to figure out that mystery. She has what's the other? So the curse, the goddess that curses her gives her a little animal companion that's actually a shape changer, and of course that helps out when everything comes together, and turns out to be a nice friendly one. So that's what you have there with Little Thieves by Margaret Owen there. Enjoyed it. Little problems here and there, but otherwise pretty good book. So even though Barnes&Noble tricked me, I am pleased with the book, but at the same time, I'd rather just find the damn thing myself if I really need to go looking for it. So next, this is by R.J. Barker, Gods of the Wormwood. The only other thing I've read by this author is he has an assassin trilogy. I will say that there's one thing I noticed about books about assassins that literally have assassin on the title. They don't do a lot of assassinating. Even in this guy's assassin trilogy, it's just bodyguard. Does some spying, I guess, but he's just bodyguard otherwise. And even in Robin Hobb's world famous assassin books, got assassin right in the title on all of them. He only does one assassination. Hey, go sneak in and kill this guy, and goes in there under some other guys and poisons a drink, and it's really great scene, but he only does the one. Everything else is he gets to talk to his animal companion and the girl that he loves but he can't get, and all this stuff. Wonderful books, but I really wish I could read an assassin book that has assassinations in it. But this, I actually went and got this for no better reason than there's a new Shannara book on stands. Now, I read trying to read the first Shannara book some years ago. Did not finish, did not like it at all, and I never went with the series. But the one on the shelves now has this beautiful cover, and there's some druid looking into some dark, foreboding woods, and that just kind of planted into me. Make no mistake, I can be swayed by artwork rather easily. So here's something out in the woods that caught my eye. R.J. Barker, Gods of the Wormwood. Our lands are wild with gods. Our woods are wild with monsters. I assume, let's see, how is this pronounced? Kahan is known as the forester, a man capable of navigating the dangerous forests of Krua like no one else. But once he was a warrior. Udini serves the goddess of the lost, a keeper of the small and helpless. When Udini needs to venture into the Wordwood to find a missing child, she asks Kahan to be her guide. But in a world where land is won and lost for uncaring gods, where the forest is full of monsters, Kahan will need to choose between his past life and the one he leads now, and his choice will have consequences for his entire world. So this is the first of two so far. I don't know if it's just a duology or not. I'll have to check, but that is next. Work keeping me from doing videos more frequently just takes up too much of my time. Not quite on my one video a week pace, but I'll do what I can. I might switch my schedule around, my daily schedule around, just to accommodate. That's about it. See you next week with this. That's pretty good. And this is next. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.